2021 GSL Super Tournament.
Get the synths ready. Synth music. Remember the 80s.
I do.
Lots of big hair. Feels like the Terminator's coming to get me.
There he is.
There he is. The Mexican Terminator.
Yes, the destroyer of
Juanito.
innovation.
That's right. That doesn't sound that good when you say it like that. The destroyer of innovation. Yeah, nothing was innovated
right.
after that. Yeah.
I like that, actually. The destroyer of innovation.
Yeah. Like, don't
Yes, that's right. He is microtransactions.
we call him loot boxes.
Yeah.
And here's Maru.
Look at that record, man.
Yeah,
Damn.
easy blue 1s and 2s. I am rooting for SpeCial.
Of course.
Listen, man, we've been marooned here in Korea. We haven't been able to fly and do big international events. Not that there really are any because of COVID, of course, but I'm kind of tired of these Koreans always winning Artosis.
Yeah.
Let's have SpeCial win.
That would be amazing.
The-
Special top 4 super
Yeah.
tournament.
We have to call
Foreigners
it
don't do well
the
in super
GSL SpeCial Tournament is what we're going to have to change
Wow.
the name to. Oh, my God. What did I just do there?
Just as good a name as super tournament.
Who will win this giant trophy?
Maybe one of these two.
Maybe.
Well, whoever goes up has to face only Protoss for the rest of the tournament.
Yep. No problems there. SpeCial versus Maru, the two remaining Terrans.
SpeCial said he could do it.
Yeah, he did say he could do it. We did talk to him, and he said it's possible. Well, we're going to find out if it's truly the case right now. Definitely, though, Maru the favorite here.
Game start.
Start game.
Team Exxon, SpeCial.
Match 4284.
Make a
Isn't
wish.
that an Orwell book?
4284. Yeah, that's his classic, 4284.
Team
Yeah.
Maru.
Where innovation was destroyed and they lived in a dystopian nightmare.
Yeah. Be 100 matches before I can make that one again.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Immediately, we have an SCV sent up to the north here on the map. I'm not sure what Maru wants to do with it. They're both making barracks in their main.
I mean, I'd imagine he wants to go for like a second Rax here, right?
I don't know what else you would be doing. Yep, it's going to be a second Rax.
A bit too fast for anything else. But, you know, 2 Rax Reaper straight up, pretty solid TBT build.
Yeah, well, if SpeCial makes any mistake in the start of the game.
Yeah. You can get them.
Yeah.
They're gettable.
Get got.
Maru taking his hands off the keyboard and mouse. Oh my god, the slights.
The disrespect.
It's just too much. So, SpeCial denies himself from going into the base. He could have gone in the base, decided not to. And, oh, he's looking for proxy stasis. He's going to find one.
Yeah, is SpeCial going to catch this one up here? The waypoint, unless he changes it, sometimes they do turn it away at the last second.
Do you think he saw it?
I'm like, does he know?
Yeah, cancels the low ground.
Instantly cancels. Good save. All right, so things looking up right now for SpeCial.
Yeah, it's an important cancel there. Throws on the factory. Maru going to start his own command center, so already gaining some value out of this, but quicker factory, of course, for SpeCial.
So what do you think the play is now for SpeCial if he wants to handle this from here?
Oh, you defend it, and then you just utilize your slightly quicker tech, right?
Try to go for a drop right away?
Yeah, it could be. Could be. I mean, if you had something out on the map, I would say, you know, there's some other plays you can make, like going into a Liberator or something, but I don't know if going Starport in your main base, trying to fly a Liberator across the map will do it in time. But, you know, he can do things like utilize his Hellions that he pops out and put some pressure on. His command center is not that much slower than Maru's or anything.
So with Special staying back, I mean, oh, that's pretty cute to just put a little bunker down here.
Yeah, that is
just
cute.
something to delay the ability to expand.
It's just very annoying.
Maru's basically got a surround here, and with the command center being built onto the low ground, he wants to pick up momentum here by starting to mine from his expansion a little bit more quickly. Special hasn't actually moved out and seen the contain, but it's a very light little ring around his base.
And looks like he's going to go ahead, maybe go for a Raven right away here. Special does like to grab those Ravens early, often.
Okay,
he goes
so
down and sees the bunker. He's not going to be super happy about that.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Oh, there's nothing in it. Oh, if he can head them off.
Yeah,
I thought he might be able to kill one or two, but...
Or body block or something like that.
The Reapers just...
These Marines not attack moving with the rest of this because the barracks is flying over here. It's actually kind of a funny little AI trick he's doing.
So that's pretty annoying for poor Special. So he'll either go for a tank or a Cyclone here. He's actually making Banshee and Cloak. Set that Raven. Okay, so he's actually going Cyclone as well as the upgrade. That's interesting.
Yeah, what do you think about this, Artosis?
I think he's going to be going for maximum damage on a counterattack after defending against this. Right? Because he's going Cloak Banshee and Mag Field. So that's like... He's giving himself a lot of potential to screw with Maru. And obviously his tech is a little bit quicker. And it's not like he lost units. It's just his command center's a lot slower. Yeah, I'm kind of excited about this idea. He has no idea about the Mag Field coming up.
Yeah, this may be not in the list of possible threats here for Maru. He may be caught off guard by this. He's going to push out now.
I wouldn't expect it here, right? You went 2 racks Reaper opener. I can't recall people doing this against it.
The Banshee is going to be able to clean off the rest of these Reapers, and a nice little win there for Special.
Yeah.
He's got his Widow Mine out on the map. And the next cycle is going to come out here, and he double expos.
Dude.
Pretty bold.
Yeah, double expo, and he's getting Banshee speed.
This is
some
cool.
Wild stuff that we're looking at right now.
Well, Maru's basically...
I have never seen this, and he's going to go mech off this 100%.
Yeah. Basically, he's... first of all, Maru playing very standard, your bread and butter TVT play here. He's getting some more barracks. But what Special's doing by getting speed with Banshees and double expanding, which is really quite risky, but if it goes unseen, you can't punish it.
Yeah. And look, he's getting some serious damage in as well.
Keep in mind that the scans are going to be going down on these cloaked Banshees, so he's not going to be checking that third necessarily to see what's over there. He scans inside the main and says, most likely, like, that's weird. There's not as much here as I thought.
Yeah, he hasn't actually shown it, but you see an upgrade. So if you see no add-on on the barracks at this time, and you see the upgrade on the starport where you already have Banshee Cloak, you know it's mech. And in fact, he canceled his barracks and added his own factories. Maru has decided to switch into mech himself. This is such a strange choice.
I actually don't know if it's a good
this.
move, because the reality is that Special is actually double expoing. And with the mech starting even later here for Maru, I don't know that that third expo can go punished. Unpunished, sorry.
You're right, but he can land his own third expo. He already has the command.
Yeah, that's true, but I think Special's picking up pretty quickly here.
Yeah. No, I like Special's position pretty well after all this. And I'm fascinated with what's going on. Like, Special, he sees double engineering bay, but he did see the cancel of the Raxes, so I'm very unsure as to what these guys are both thinking right now. Like, I think Maru has a better handle on what's occurring than Special does, probably.
Well, here's Maru's third being acquired right now.
We're even on SCV counts. Special should be pulling ahead slightly. Armory's coming up. Banshee speed, of course, being done is a gigantic boon to Special's harassment.
And this is going to be kind of annoying here, especially if you can get, like, the tanks, for instance. Beautifully done.
Yeah.
Or Banshee's two-shotting a tank.
That's awesome.
And getting away immediately here. Obviously, the Raven could see them, but they're so fast, you're not going to be able to catch them. And another catch on these tanks. Unreal. He's playing so well. Unfortunately, after that, the Cyclones are shot down, but getting those tanks, obviously, if you're both going mech, pretty big deal. Player with the more tanks tends to be, the stronger player in the game overall.
Okay, so Maru's moving across the map right now. He does have a lot of Cyclones. He has his own mag field accelerator. The Banshee's coming up from behind. I mean, their damage output is so fast. Look at that. My God.
Just shutting down these Cyclones.
Cyclones versus Banshees.
I'm so used to thinking of Cyclones just dominating Banshees like as if the Cyclones were Hydras, but in reality, no.
No. Four of them.
Yeah, 4 of them is a lot of damage coming out.
Yeah.
And Cyclones are good against air, but they're not good at actually head-to-head fights. They're good at kiting and chasing.
Yeah, speed Banshees have no problem putting that damage out consistently. Okay, so more command centers for Maru, a little bit quicker than SpeCial. He's making another one himself. Spreading his tanks a bit. 4th base on location for SpeCial, but the way Maru's moving is going to force a cancel on that very quickly.
Yeah, insta shutdown over here. But I don't think that's too much of a big deal for SpeCial.
It was
Small
still early
interruption.
on. It kind of sucks because he is behind on command centers anyways, but
yeah.
Definitely needs to get that restarted. Maru's very good at these types of situations because he doesn't ever hesitate in any matchup to build mass command centers.
Yeah, he's one of the few players to this day, which normally doesn't happen when you have a game that's this developed and understood, but he just sort of takes more of the map. Like he just kind of keeps making CCs, and eventually he's actually ahead in matchups where the Terran's supposed to always be behind or even.
Yeah.
And so we do want to watch that. Sometimes Maru can just win a game by literally just being so good at juggling tasks that he kind of just wins on every front and outpaces his opponent.
Definitely something we see.
Maru now expanding down here at 6 o'clock. The CC moving en route. Could SpeCial actually fight back here? Maru seems to basically be in control of the map. He's continuing to roam pretty effectively. SpeCial's using sensor towers, which Maru didn't make. Maru skips that. Instead opts for map presence as a way to not just control the game, but to scout as well.
Yeah, the Banshees kind of keeping tabs on everything and actually doing a good job of not dying too much. Looks like SpeCial wants to start clearing some of these rocks and moving forward a bit. SpeCial is up by 20 army supply right now.
Yeah, and he's moving out now.
It's pretty significant.
Okay, here
we
we go.
definitely have air domination though from Maru, so that can make a big difference. The Banshee's harassing the base slightly,
and he's just going to come right over here to this base now. Auto turrets coming down. A lot of tanks, but they're getting muted by these Ravens.
That is some great disables going down. If those tanks weren't disabled, this would be the easiest victory ever.
Yeah, but it seems like SpeCial might. Well, hold on. These Vikings are going to land here.
But the tanks come out of the disable, and the rallying units do clear up the Vikings that land on those tanks, and suddenly SpeCial in a pretty decent position. But Maru lived through something that would have killed him otherwise, I think.
Yeah, I think Maru handled that very well, but the 4 tanks are still a real threat.
He's going to have to do something here. Oh, look at the Banshee just putting some extra hits on there. The disable on it.
Yeah,
That's
he can
funny.
still use it to spot.
Yeah. Also, it puts that little bit extra damage. It's like 2 tank hits plus 2 Banshee hits.
Yeah.
To get the kill. Something like that.
It's so funny. He just keeps disabling it.
Yeah. Well, it's ruining a lot of stuff.
If he can get these tanks to be any lower in count, I think it's very reasonable to say that Terran could then, or not Terran, SpeCial could then push in. Okay, here we go. He's going to just attack out here.
Does he have enough? A lot of Cyclones and Hellions coming down. He actually has Blue Flame on his Hellions, so his Hellions will wreck the other Hellions.
And now SpeCial's going to try to come up here and take a fight over at 9 o'clock. I don't know how effective it's going to be. Tanks are sieging up. He's going to try to stay out of tank range and maybe just try to hit the CC, do what damage he can.
Oh my God.
Oh!
The lock-ons are real, and down goes the CC. There is
Beautiful.
Another one for Maru that he expanded down at 6 o'clock with, so he's still on 4 base.
Yep.
Not the end of the world. He was actually up a base on SpeCial until that. But SpeCial is taking his 5th. This is a crazy awesome game. I'm loving this. We have great games tonight.
We really do.
There's like 2 3-0s and some of the best games still.
Yeah, SpeCial's like holding his own here in this game so far. He does basically have the map presence. It's Maru on the defense. Maru's fighting back pretty effectively. The thing I'm most interested in seeing is how is SpeCial going to play when it comes to keeping up with Maru. Because this is really where Maru just sort of doesn't slow down, where everybody else does.
That's true. SpeCial is playing a very solid game here. You know what? He only had 1 armory this whole time, which is kind of interesting. It's not the biggest deal in mech versus mech. Attack upgrades are so much more important than armor, but it does make a bit of a difference.
Yeah, it'll add up over time for sure.
Okay, double starport for SpeCial. Now that's ahead of Maru adding starports, which is important because eventually, mech versus mech, no one kills each other. After a certain amount of time, it does go into Sky Terran versus Sky Terran. And that starts out as Vikings. You can get into Liberator there. Obviously, Mass Ravens can be done. But BCs end up being part of the endgame a lot of the time as well.
Oh my god. This angle is so good. It's chipping away at SpeCial. His units are kind of bumping into each other, which is making some of them fall behind in the chase. And that's honestly a huge win there for Maru.
Yeah.
He basically chunked out a lot of that army.
Yeah, SpeCial's going to have to siege up a little bit more defensively now. This mass Cyclone army plus the Ravens, you have to be extra careful because if he disables a few tanks, he will just bash through with the mass Cyclone. Look at this, trying to come up once again.
Yeah, can he actually crack in here is the question.
It might be too cost inefficient to try right now.
Keep in mind with the 2 Ravens in the mix here, if he gets in a bad situation here, Maru does, he could just throw down auto turrets and change the math very quickly.
Disables as well.
Yeah, very true.
In certain situations.
Yeah, both are quite effective.
Armor shred, not as much with these arms.
Not what you're looking for.
Maru's really taking some control here.
Yeah. Well, this is kind of what I was.
SpeCial can't fight there. Oh,
all right, armor shred, take that, Artosis. And the thing is, with this many Cyclones, you will get the command center.
Oh, yes.
Look at how fast this thing dies.
Yeah, it's kind of silly. They're coming up, trying to lock on to some of these tanks. Looks like he'll get 1. Does have 4 tanks siege down there on the low ground for himself. Oh, no. There's those disables once again. Maru sieging forward.
Yeah, okay, I think that we are getting into a pretty dangerous area here for SpeCial because Maru is now clearly ahead. He's taking fights and not even really trading units off so much as he is just killing off chunks of SpeCial's army.
Yeah.
And, I mean, this is kind of the phenomena of Maru.
Yeah.
As a player is like, we don't really have another player that quite looks like this. Like, he's just so fast and so good at kind of doing everything.
He's just the best Terran by far.
It's kind of hard to go back to one specific moment and say that SpeCial played poorly or did not have a good decision. It's just like Maru is going, he's exceeding the speed limit, so to speak, you know?
He's doing more.
You know what it's like?
What's it
like? You know, we talk about APM or you know, how quick you can make these decisions in your head, and it's like, to be a pro gamer, you'd have to be like moving at 60 miles per hour or something like that. But like when Maru plays, it's like he's on the Autobahn.
Yeah.
Like it will go as fast as he can handle it. I don't know, it's not my best metaphor, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Well, he's
a lot of players slow down as they get more tasks because there's just
he's got a bigger engine than anyone else.
Yeah, exactly. He just is able to output more and kind of do more because this game can almost look a bit mysterious as far as like, okay, well, what is SpeCial doing wrong? And I'm like, you know what? I don't even know. All I know is if I look at the bottom of the map, Maru just has more now.
But SpeCial's making some stuff happen here, right? Like he is saving this command center, and he's going to be able to kill these off. His siege tanks made some big moves down on Maru's side of the map. It looks like they're pretty much cleaned out now. But he did kill some stuff.
I think the problem is just, I mean, he's still in it for sure. But I mean, right now SpeCial needs an opportunity here. Maybe it'll come as he wipes out this attack here. Maybe he could finally push into the south. I don't know.
It seems like Maru is still trying to do absolutely everything, but SpeCial, kind of in a smaller range of area right now, is able to defend a little bit quicker. He's Moving across now as he gets some big unit pickoffs. It's hilarious watching how many Cyclones are just absolutely trying to kill each other.
Yeah.
All right, the tank's going to siege up here. All right, strong disable right there. I think he's got to not move further until he gets more units up here.
Another shutdown on that tank. So SpeCial's kind of making it work, but I'm seeing less and less and less as this push comes forward. You know what I mean? I think that basically this is not going to work, and then we're going to go back to where SpeCial is. He has half the number of bases that Maru has, nearly. His supply is much lower, and in fact, we can see that Maru's so ahead that he can both stop that attack over there and counterattack over here.
Wow.
Maru, bigger, faster, stronger. Really?
Yeah. No, he was. he was.
Honestly,
SpeCial put out a brilliant game, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I think his SpeCial looked very
he was
good.
Ahead. He opened better.
But we've casted so many Maru games where this is sort of the story is like, oh, this looks fine. And then, you know, we get 8 minutes in, and Maru's like, well, he just seems to be, he's got him surrounded, and then eventually, 12, 15 minutes in, it's Maru has his entire side of the map.
This is why he's
hitting
the fourth race, right?
Yeah.
Like
it doesn't even look, you're right, like a Terran.
It's not. He's something else. And it's like we've been saying for a long time, right? If Maru's behind, you're even. If he's even with you, you're behind. And if he's ahead, you're already dead.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, and SpeCial was actually ahead for a bit there, which means Maru was even with him. And then when Maru got to even, he just started to run circles around him.
And some pretty complex ideas at play here by SpeCial, but Maru just saw it, shifted gears, and came back. Let's go to Romanticide for Game 2.
Game starts. Team Exxon, SpeCial.
Doesn't look too happy with that last loss.
Well, that's, you know,
Team
when you play StarCraft,
Maru.
obviously any loss, you're going to be feeling the salt, right? But then there's the loss where you're looking and it seems like they're doing the impossible. You know, when you're playing so fast, you could feel like you're playing pretty well, and they have taken the entire map and have shut you down so hard. And especially, keep in mind, that's a mirror matchup.
Yeah.
So that's even more haunting, because you realize if their race can do that, you should, in theory, be able to do the same thing, but you can't. And so that, I think, was less a loss involving the strategy of the game and more, you know, the fact that RTS games are mechanical games and do require inputs and moving around the map and making things. And, hey.
Yep. Sees exactly what's
Do you
up.
like that I became a teenage girl for a second there? I'm like, hey.
I'm like, hi.
Hi. So he spots that. But yeah, that's one of those games where you go, wow, this guy is just like able to overclock.
Well, he's been the best Terran in the world for years, and amongst them almost since Season 1 of GSL.
It's funny, too, because when I think SpeCial's improved lately as well, and I think we saw that in the innovation games.
We saw that in that game, too.
Yeah.
Just not enough.
It's funny because, like, you know, we talk about how mechanical innovation is, and it's very true. And, you know, historically, innovation does just kind of outproduce, and he does like to harness the mechanical aspect of the game. But when you look at Maru, it's almost comedy.
Yeah.
You know.
It's pretty wild.
It's also funny because, like, there was a period, this is really more of a StarCraft 1 era, but people that were just so mechanically gifted at the game compared to their peers that they didn't have a lot of great strategies. They just produced so much.
Yes, for sure.
You know, and they made for some very interesting games until the game was really refined and fine-tuned. But
when you can just make more than your opponent, that opens new strategies as well.
Yeah.
By the way, the thing I talked about last game as a possible counter to this, proxy starport, is what he's going for. Not surprised to see that, since he does have it out on the map. That's kind of a funny location for it to be in, but it should finish in time that he can get the Liberator out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's... this was actually originally made by TY as the counter to 2 Rax Reaper.
Right.
And TY, of course, a big mentor to SpeCial.
Yeah, they're very good buddies, TY and SpeCial. Where I don't believe Maru and SpeCial are actually close at all.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm like, start making up gossip. I'm like, they actually hate each other.
That's what it sounds like.
No, but I mean, TY and SpeCial talk a lot. And so you can get a lot of good ideas from him.
Now look at this, the counterattack coming down. The Liberator going to be popping out, and there are Marines being made by Maru. And obviously you can just walk the Marines out of Liberation zones and shoot the Liberator from the side. So Marines can deal with it, it just takes a long time. So the Liberator is going to be worth it. Like, you could literally just sit it over a command center and never move it. And it's like, that was pretty good. You know? Even with no kills, you're like, all right, not too bad. That's
so he's going to pull it back.
Zoning.
Yeah, very good maneuvering there with the Marines. The star port is going to be sent back home here for SpeCial. And he's merging up with the rest of his army over here. I love the landed barracks.
Oh, man.
That's so annoying.
So many little things.
Because SpeCial's out on the map, he just drops his racks here so SCVs can't mine and starts making Marines.
Yeah, diving upon
And
that.
the longer you don't see this being attacked, the more Maru is confident that he knows SpeCial's going to attack into him. Seeing the tank come across the map, he knows it's going to be a 2-base timing push. Now,
yeah,
if
that's
Maru
why he has
doesn't,
his Reapers at the top of the ramp. Those are like the perfect unit for first fights.
yeah. Oh my! Oh my God, that was so close. Now Maru has to be careful. Mismanaging an attack like this can cost you the game. But Maru is usually pretty cool and pretty collected in moments like this. A medevac is going to be coming here as well.
Yeah, that's a good choice. Heal up some of those units. He has taken some damage, though. All right, here comes that medevac. Oh, great pickup. Utilizing that juggle. Oh, look at that. The, like, 1 hit point Liberator is going to actually... That makes this way harder to engage. Look at that. Great moves from SpeCial here.
Yeah.
He's really parried the
I wonder if
strong
he should
opening
actually
from Maru.
land a mule to repair it, to be honest.
I don't think anything can get to it. Like, maybe that's the first thing you do with this Raven that's going to pop out. Maybe you want a missile turret, but I could see a disable being utilized as well.
So now he's forced him off of this base. There's a Reaper counterattack coming here, though. How much damage is that going to do? Oh, looks like he's actually pretty prepared for it.
Looks that way. Until the Reapers got by everything and started murdering the Marines. Oh! All right, he's not going to get it. Ouch. That is so annoying for Maru. All right, he's making Vikings, so that's going to be enough to push this back. You watch.
Here he comes now. Disable on the tanks, takes out that Liberator. And really good control overall here from him. He kind of just slips out, shuts that down, moves on.
Yeah, very well done.
Can there be a counter push is what I'm wondering.
Can he counter push? I don't
Well, hold on. There's a drop coming.
It looks like he thinks so. Yeah, but the medevac going into the main base.
TBT is a funny matchup in that it's always seemed like you shouldn't be able to do pushes on 2 bases, and now it seems like you can because people have gotten so good at them.
Yeah. Now, this drop was amazing. This was one of the more important things as well in this game. Like, Maru's army was a third of the way across the map and then turned around to deal with this. So this definitely did its intended job here.
Yeah.
And SpeCial's going into mech behind this, so he's bought himself a lot of time.
But can there be another attack now? I mean, he shuts this down.
No, I think the window has closed by now.
Again, though, as the game goes on and on, I want to see if SpeCial can hold his own. That's always, you know, the problem with long games against Maru is he just sort of, just wins on every single little front. He outproduces, he outexpands, takes all the little fights that he can take, and comes out on top.
It seems like Maru's read the situation reasonably well. He's making yet another command center. He's going into mech himself. It seems like he wants to play mech with mech.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Which, now, hear me out on this. This makes perfect sense, that Maru wants to play the same unit comp as you. Because there are things that you can't outplay with certain comps against certain comps.
Yes, very true.
Whereas if he's making the same things as his opponent in TVT, he's just smarter, bigger, better, faster than everybody.
Yeah.
But if he's trying to make Marines kill siege tanks, it doesn't matter that you're bigger, better, faster. They're not going to kill the siege tanks. You can still win the game.
Well,
you can still win, but for Maru and his strengths, mirroring what his opponent is doing is going to allow him to utilize his speed and his brain a lot.
I see what you're saying. I like it. I think we've got to keep in mind, like, a feature of mech is basically that after there's enough tanks out, you can't really be engaged because, obviously the siege tank just has superior range and there's just not much you can do to contest that. I mean, Ravens can come in here and mute the tanks and all that, but that's always a little bit later on. But this means Maru's going to go head-to-head here in this mech arms race and just try to produce and outgrow his opponent.
Yeah, and he's actually going very heavy siege tank this time. He went Cyclone heavy in the last game. And I think this just has to do with the wonkiness of the early game. He's made a lot of command centers very quickly, and he's just sieging up.
Yeah.
Just trying to defend to get his macro actually on track. And I mean, he's on 4 base before SpeCial is. SpeCial is making that 4th CC, so he's not very far behind, but a little tiny bit.
A scan over here. Let's see if SpeCial wants to actually engage here. The scan kind of telegraphs the intentions of the attacker, so he decides to back off.
Yeah, that's a big thing in TVT. It's they actually talk about that, the StarCraft 1 pros, about how at really high levels in TVT you have to scan areas you're not about to attack because Terran players always catch where the scan is and then reinforce it.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Yeah.
You can't just scan. Because it does
there has
telegraph
to be scan
the
randomization, yeah, because that's like what you do. You scan because, like, if you don't know what you're walking into in TVT, man, siege tanks will punish.
Okay, looks like there's going to be an attack coming here from the north, and he can basically come at a pretty good angle.
I don't think his army can actually do anything because it's so siege tank heavy for Maru. He's got, like, SpeCial has more of a battle mech army, whereas we have a more traditional mech army from Maru. He's made the Vikings, he's making mostly siege tanks. And I mean, he might switch it up to get a little bit more mobile, like we do see him adding in some Cyclones, some Hellions. But overall, like, he is a wall that you cannot run into right now. You cannot do it. We need to actually see SpeCial probably add a little bit heavier tank, because 4 against 13, I'm starting to get nervous for him.
Yeah.
But also, we might see him leapfrog up into that Sky Terran more quickly as well.
Yeah, you can kind of skip a beat here and try to just go into Sky Toss and have a smaller number of tanks, but you have air dominance. But yeah, 4 to 13 is quite a difference.
Yeah.
And so SpeCial's gone for the more mobile army, and I mean, this is all shown here by the behaviors on the mini-map. I mean, Maru basically hasn't left his base with the exception of stuff like these Hellions.
Yeah.
And really, this is like what we'd call a mineral dump, in that you end up getting extra minerals you can't do much with. I mean, you can make turrets here and there, but why not make some Hellions and just try to run in there and kill off some SCVs?
Yeah.
Do some scouting. But SpeCial's army more mobile, like we were mentioning earlier. He's got the Cyclones roaming the map, but in the long term, Maru may be a bit more powerful when it comes time to attack. He'll have to deal with counterattacks, he'll have to deal with flanks and all that. But we're getting close to both sides maxing out.
Mm-hmm. Okay, SpeCial is jumping up into Sky Terran, but so is Maru. He's got double Starport Raven going. He's adding 4 commands. It's just, look, SpeCial's adding 2, Maru's adding 4.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is.
This is what we're talking about. It's funny because it almost sounds like comic book superhero-ish, where I'm like, well, he's just faster in every way. But then you look at the games, I'm like, see?
He's down 20 supply, and he's like, I need 4 CCs right now. That's what I really need. And the thing is, he's right. He's made so many siege tanks, he can't be killed. So what's the next thing? Well, let's get more mules, let's get more scans, let's get more everything.
Let's get rid of SCVs so we can get more attacking units.
Sure, yeah.
If we have enough orbitals, we can just start landing mules.
Mm-hmm.
Let's automate our jobs, take them away from humans, give them to mules.
For sure.
Yeah.
They're way better at it. Can't even blame them.
Armor Shred comes down here.
Yeah,
and easily, SpeCial is just chased away.
Trying to get a few lock-ons there. Battlecruisers are actually what SpeCial's going into. Like, I like Battlecruisers in Terran vs. Terran, but you have to be a little bit careful, right? Because if you get on top of them and you're the Viking Raven guy, you can disable. So SpeCial has to really be careful with how he uses these BCs.
Yeah.
Probably fly them out to a fringe base and attack when you realize that the Ravens are out of range, and then you have to jump as the Ravens come. Because if the Ravens get there, it's just a paperweight.
So Maru's already reached into the top right. He's now going to start to dominate the bottom center.
And look at this. Siege tank, turret, sensor tower.
So StarCraft 1
This is
TVT.
StarCraft 1 TVT,
Yeah.
100%. And it's like mass tank turret into BC. Yes, this is StarCraft 1 TVT.
StarCraft 1 TVTs were historically the longest games, but I think part of that's because it's harder to move big armies in StarCraft 1. StarCraft 2 is a bit more fluid. Yeah, moving siege tanks in TVT is just a headache.
Siege tanks in StarCraft 1 are way better than in StarCraft 2.
Yeah, but it's just, again, a lot of micromanagement there. But he's pushing up into this area here, and I'll be honest, man, he cannot afford to lose this. Now, here comes 2 Battlecruisers.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he jumped these or flew them, but either way, they're doing as intended, right? Like, he saw that all the Ravens were on the other side. Oh, okay, it looks like he's going to turn some of them around now.
I think he's sending these Vikings back over here. Keep in mind, these can always warp away. Nice, just shoots down the tank.
High value. 10 SCBs, some turrets, siege tanks, lost mining time, another tank. Great. These BCs have been amazing. But the thing is, you have to do that a lot for a very long time. Oh, actually disabling these tanks that are setting up the containment in the center. Luckily has some cyclones here to come up, but yeah, it looks like he will clear the tanks pretty well.
Okay, he shuts us down quite nicely.
Ooh, just gets
away.
out of there.
Now again, guys, watch the
He
minimap.
actually got the disable on it and everything.
That's funny. Okay, so now he can start to take this out here. Keep in mind that
oh my
Maru
God.
has like the 2 bases at 6 o'clock. SpeCial only has 1, and he's trying to come in here and take this one out.
Oh
Hey,
my
nice
God.
fighting back here from SpeCial.
Yes, that was amazing because just about everything he had got disabled there, and then he jumped on top to save his tanks. That was awesome play from SpeCial. Look at
SpeCial
this.
fighting back pretty nicely here.
Some insane tactics coming out on both sides. That was awesome.
Maru basically has every base that he can get on his side. SpeCial's not taking the bottom left or the one closer to the center.
This is an awesome game.
Yeah. So how many Ravens are in this game right now? So there's 12 over here for Maru, but there's none for SpeCial.
Yeah.
He's got his 5 BCs. The BCs, of course, they get a lot of sustain. They can do a lot of damage. They can mix up their positions. But Ravens can silence basically an entire army when you have this many.
Yeah, it's true, and we saw that, but he did jump on top of it as well, I guess. I almost feel like you could go Ghost here against Maru for EMP. It's so crazy what he's doing. Okay, that's a lot of Cyclones here. That was painful. That was so many siege tanks that just fell. SpeCial, not maxed out anymore. No real bank to speak of. More BCs and tanks on the way.
Okay.
God!
Takes these tanks out over here. There's the armor shred.
Yeah, but he's going to be able to kill everything here. Look
Yeah,
at this.
that's
The
true.
anti-air is gone.
Yeah, there's just nothing left. So he wipes out a decent amount. Now he's just retreating with these tanks. The Ravens flying away.
As these Vikings come up, he's got to go do something else. Do we have the jump? Okay.
Yeah, he's going to jump. He gets away with those 5.
Yeah, saves
But
all. Nice.
Ken, is it not possible then for Maru to just come back over here and bash his way through this position here?
Oh, maybe. The thing is, his Ravens, like, they're utilizing their energy, so he has to wait some amount of time before he can disable everything again. All right, gets up here. Doesn't seem like he's going to... Oh, he might actually just get the CC.
Yeah, he just catches it.
Dude, those lock-ons with Magfield are insanity.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Maru adding more Vikings in here.
He's going to come down again.
Yeah, he has countered these BCs super hard, but there's still a lot of siege tanks being added in here.
So they're going to gather back up. And it looks like Maru's eyeing this 12 o'clock spot. I think he basically just decided if he can just take fights at these two locations over here, that's all he's really going to need. Okay, so this is a lot of Cyclones locking on, a lot of disabled BCs. One is finally picked off. He might get a second one. It's going to get kited away.
Well, the siege tank's going to do some work here as well.
It just seems like Maru's army's actually better. Like SpeCial had a really cool idea, and Maru's like, no, that's actually not how you play the game correctly.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with the way that Maru's doing it. It's like more of a set of units that grinds things down.
Yeah.
But if you're playing against Raven Viking, it's hard to make the BCs work. He's actually made them work better than I've ever seen anyone do it in this situation. But a lot of times what you see when it's like, when BCs are more what you want to do, you'll add in those Vikings as well, so that you can actually kill Ravens. Here it's like the Ravens are just being retained throughout.
And the the Vikings can actually outmaneuver the Battlecruisers, and so now we have the BC reset here. Terran is not able to mine from these two 12 o'clock bases. And again, Maru basically has everything. Yeah, there it is, GG. The same kind of ending where Maru just has more of everything.
SpeCial getting the lead in 2 games with Mech, and then not able to do it against Maru's
unfortunately, no.
Better play, unfortunately.
Well, it's so cool because I like what we saw from SpeCial, but you could see Maru looked at that and said, oh, I know what this is. This is actually the wrong way to play the game. Let me keep making Ravens.
Yeah. And, you know, obviously Raven Viking versus Raven Viking gets very difficult to play. Right? So SpeCial trying to play in a different way. And again, he made some really great moves in there. Like, I really love the teleport on top of all the tanks that got disabled to save them and everything. But at the end of the day, he wasn't killing any Ravens, unfortunately.
No.
Like,
so we're going to go to Light Shade for Game 3. And, man, I hope SpeCial can recoup here. I hope he can come back. But honestly, I do feel a little bit like the writing's on the wall. It just seems like Maru has a better grasp on the matchup, is a better player. But let's find out. Let's see. Our game's loaded up. Guys, this is Game 3 in this best of 5.
Game starts. Team Exxon, SpeCial. Team NV, Maru.
Not even using his hands. Crazy. He's got the DDR pad out. He's playing StarCraft with his feet.
that would be so hard.
What are you giggling
I'm
about?
imagining playing with my feet on like a DDR pad, like, and then like the things that you would do, and then I thought to myself, like, I would march on it. What would, I would like march my Thors across the map by just stomping my feet on the DDR pad. You think SpeCial go mech again?
Yeah, I think so. It seems like he's gone to the lab, and this is what he's come back out with, and he's going to try his best at it as much as he can, and see what he can do.
I think he's better with mech than he is with bio, and I think you can't play bio against Maru. He's too good.
Well,
like,
yeah, I think you're playing into his hands.
Like, bio is much faster paced than mech. Mech, you can actually be a little bit slower than someone and beat them a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Bio, I think, is much harder to do that with. There's just, like, so much damage output instantly if you're out of position. Whereas with tanks, it's like, well, we got to unsiege, then go re-siege, and like,
I don't know if he's going to, if we get a mech versus mech and it goes a long time, I don't know about him going Battlecruisers again. There was a period where it seemed like they were even, and they both chose extremely different directions to take the game in.
It's normally when you do see Battlecruisers, it's both players go Vikings, and then both players go Raven Viking. And then someone goes Battlecruisers. And it's a very difficult dance because it's like, well, whoever has more Vikings, that's really good. But whoever has more Ravens, that's really good. But neither of these actually can deal damage. Battlecruisers can. And Battlecruisers can jump, so you can kind of get them out of position and do things with those. Although those don't add to the fights as much as the Vikings and Ravens. But yeah, he skipped that completely, which was, it was an interesting take on it. And it was working for a little bit. But it seems like long term, as long as Maru stays calm, that's going to be superior.
Now, in this game, we're still waiting for things to basically develop here. It's been by far our most passive game of the series.
Yeah, they're pretty mirrored so far.
It's funny because we had an extremely close match to start the night off, where surprisingly Zoun actually wins. And then everything else has been one-sided.
Well, yeah, one side. Yeah, but the games, some of the games were close in each set.
That's true.
So that was kind of nice, even though it was 3-0.
Well, I think there were points in time where these games with these two have been close, but
yeah, no, I think
by
both
the time
these games
it ends,
have been.
it's just Maru.
I think this one is likely to be close, and I think Maru's likely to win it.
Yeah.
So that might just be the story for the night. StarCraft's so hard. Like, looking at how good SpeCial's playing, it's like, well, sorry, buddy, you have Maru. That's it.
Well, it's what makes the game so intimidating, but also so rewarding.
Yeah.
Is like, first of all, you have to just know so many things and be able to do so many different things. And there's so many games where you get into a completely bizarre, unique situation. We see it here in GSLs too, where it's like, oh, well, this is like not really a game we've actually casted in the last 10 years. But you got to have the instinct. You got to have that understanding. You have to have played so many times. Maybe you've experienced this before. You kind of know how to handle yourself.
Dude, by the way, this is double starport for SpeCial. Double starport. Now, like, he's going one tech lab, one wait, no, that's two tech labs? Oh. This is so weird to see. Maybe he's like, that Raven was a good unit. I should make those. He's making them out of 2. He's not going to have anything on the ground. He's going to have to kill every army with auto turrets. Remember when the Hunter-Seeker missiles dealt damage?
Yeah.
And they were the only thing people did in TVT?
Yeah.
And then remember later
on
when
they
dealt...
the golden age of StarCraft?
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
And remember later when they did much, much, much less damage? And they were the only thing people made as well.
Yeah,
they were like,
you watch a bunch come out. And
there was a 75%, if I recall correctly, damage nerf, and it was like, oh no, this is still.
It's like this is still probably the best way to play the game. It just makes it longer and look uglier. But
things that are free are very good, guys.
Yeah. Well, also the fact that you can cast spells very easily.
Yes.
At once. Which I've actually wondered if maybe they should have tried to fix that. Just make it you have to select the one unit to do it.
Yeah.
I don't see what the benefit is of spamming out all your storms.
No, I know.
Like at once, I'm like, it's okay to like make it just make you grab one, or they cast it all at once. But
makes spellcasters pretty
damn
strong.
good, you say?
Yeah, for sure. Now both sides going for extra bases. Good amount of Ravens on both sides, but SpeCial, of course, getting higher. SpeCial's actual ground army is laughably small right now. Okay, he scans and sees double starport. Oh my god. Have you ever seen anything like it?
I like this.
It seemed like it was good.
Seems like it probably should have been put a little bit closer to the SCVs too. It did seem like he kind of just put it out randomly.
Yeah, but 4 SCVs, a siege tank, lost mining time is not nothing.
But you're saying to trade that for spells that were cast.
Yeah. It's like, well, is he going to lose the game for not having those spells for the amount of time it takes to regain that? I don't think so.
Watch Maru's like, yeah, of course. He comes out and kills him. I'm like, oh, okay. Sorry, Maru.
That would be pretty legit. Magfield on both sides. A little bit quicker here for Maru.
Yeah.
That does make me a bit nervous that Maru might be able to get across the map and actually do something. You see that? I love the turret on that one Cyclone where it's looking behind him, so it looks like he's walking backwards the whole time.
So he's going to come up here and look for a fight. This is right as Magfield Accelerator's finished upgrading.
Oh, he's got to move those siege tanks. Oh, this is going to be tough. All right, a lot of auto turrets going down. The joke I made earlier coming true.
And this is, you know what, handily shut down by SpeCial.
Yeah.
Not bad at all.
He only lost one of his Ravens during that.
Still
Didn't
has
lose any
3
of his
total.
siege tanks. Solid.
But Maru apparently isn't finished. He's going to rotate up here and try to come in and blindside the soft spot of the expansion.
That's a good choice.
Siege tanks are going to have to get into a better position.
Yeah, I guess with the sensor tower there, it's a little bit hard to actually make it happen.
to spring an attack on there. 2 armories coming down now for Maru.
And now we wait, Tasteless.
But important to note that Maru is basically keeping a healthy rotation here. He's keeping map control. He's keeping the threat of an attack from any one angle. Such a realistic possibility that let's see how exactly SpeCial deals with it. And SpeCial decides to try to confront it.
He's stressing me out having to move these siege tanks back and forth. I gotta be honest with you.
Yeah. All right, the Cyclone's kiting very nicely. Takes out that Hellion. 3 tanks at a time here for Maru. Now, again,
He'll probably mass expand from here.
yeah, and also keep in mind that some of the behaviors from both players are being mirrored from Game 2. We had SpeCial go for mass Cyclones, 3 at a time. Maru went kind of more old school, 3 tanks at a time. I don't know if we're going to go to graduate to Battlecruisers here for SpeCial.
Well, he's already gone Ravens somewhat heavily, so he's not going to be out-Ravened for a bit, which is really important. You know, obviously the disables were playing a huge role of things for Maru when he was pushing around the map.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, SpeCial going to be expanding in, both players going up to 4 bases right now. Not going to choose that fight.
Yeah. Probably not worth it to hit there.
Yeah, I think once you scan and realize the amount of siege tanks that he already has out-sieged, this battle mech is not going to, like, actually break through anywhere, I don't think.
I don't think so. But let's keep in mind that the idea here for SpeCial is to try to be the one that's actively creating threats here so he can try to out-expand Maru. What was funny about the last game was Maru both out-expanded and was passive.
Yeah. Well, Maru's adding another command center.
Yeah.
SpeCial trying to take up at 12 o'clock as well. Ooh.
Yep. Oh, that's funny. Disables that Raven.
Yeah. Doing anything he can.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. That's a great move.
Okay, he's just not reacting to this.
When you can't outrun a Hellbat, that's an old saying, you know?
Yeah. A big attack comes in here. Liberation zone set up now. Siege tank sieging up as the armor shredder hits this army. Is this enough? It seems that the answer is no.
Yeah,
As Maru just completely wrecks that attack.
Yeah, he smacked that back.
Yeah.
That was after a Hellbat killed
Again,
9 SCVs as well.
They're both playing a different style, and it just does seem like Maru has a better handle on the matchup. Like, it seems like he understands what SpeCial's trying to do, and he's like, oh, all I have to do is do this.
Yeah, SpeCial keeps trying to break things, but there's so many siege tanks. The siege tank is the best mech unit.
Yeah, well, the siege tank is what makes mech a desirable tech option. Is the siege tank will hit before anything else hits, and when you get enough of them, you're breaking off huge amounts of their army before they even get to fire at first.
Yeah. But SpeCial continues to mass up this battle mech. We have more starports now for Maru, so he's added in a couple Liberators. See what else he ends up going for. There are a few Vikings out still. I mean, if he has that air control, the thing is, Liberators aren't going to do that much against pure battle mech. We don't have any siege tanks. Normally, Liberators are to break siege tank versus siege tank, basically, right?
Right.
You have more Vikings, so you can set up your Liberators to push back the siege tanks. But what if he doesn't have any siege tanks? Not something you'd expect.
No.
Oh.
And so you can see, you know, first of all, it's pretty obvious what SpeCial's trying to do. The problem is the siege tanks just basically hammer on the army. The army runs away. Some of it's broken off, some of it's damaged, and either isn't repaired or is repaired, which is where more resources are going.
Yeah. Well, a lot of these lock-ons are on Hellions as well, so just not getting the damage desired. That's
GG.
it.
I mean, I don't know what else to say, man. Maru is clearly better at this matchup. And SpeCial,
Well,
for all that he has done to improve, is going to have to go back and level up again, because this was...
Well, well, he's the hardest opponent that you can really have in the matchup, right? It's just, it's Maru, and I think SpeCial played very well tonight, and just nothing he did was enough. And that has to be frustrating, but honestly, he's improved a lot, and I'm looking forward to seeing him play next season. You know, right now, I've always wanted to say something like this, but as far as the up-and-coming Terrans, him and Bunny are the ones I'm really looking at next season to see how they do.
Yeah, I think SpeCial definitely came in with his style planned for tonight. It just was apparently not going to work against Maru. And, you know, sometimes that's a very valuable lesson to have as a competitive player. You come in here with something kind of different, and it's like, yeah, don't do that. Because that might have worked in practice, but if I just play this certain way, I will never lose to it. And that's what Maru did back there. So, guys, we've got our Final Four. For whatever reason, Super Tournament seems to be where Protosses thrive. We've got Zoun versus SOS. That I am super excited to see. And, of course, Trap versus Maru. You cannot go wrong with that.
No, this is going to be amazing. What a great day that this is going to be. Trap versus Maru, my God. Who do you think takes the tournament?
Okay, I really don't know.
It's a
I think it
hard
would
call.
be very cool if Zoun took it.
That would be the coolest story.
That would be the coolest story.
Yeah.
Maru would probably be the most reasonable.
Okay.
You know, if you're SOS would be crazy hype. He does not win GSL stuff. Trap, it's like, okay, yeah.
He seems the most likely, I think, Trap.
Yeah, well, I think Trap actually can deal with Maru where other players can't.
Yeah, I'm kind of going with Trap overall, but this is going to be great. Best of 7 finals. Can't wait.
Yeah, and that's going to be on Thursday, guys. 5 p.m. KST. Kust.
That's right.
Kust.
Psst. I don't know what time it is for you.
And guys, thank you for joining us. It's good to be doing Super Tournament again.
Yeah, Super Tournament's amazing, and this has been a very good one. Even though we have 3 3-0s tonight, some really great games within those 3-0s. The top 4, I mean, there are 3 Protoss players in it, but it's Super Tournament. We have to calm yourself down. This is the one tournament that Protosses can actually win.
Yeah.
So let them be. We'll see if they can get through
Despite all
Maru.
you guys going Protoss OP and having pet rock eyes when you do it, honestly, Protoss has not done that well in StarCraft 2.
Yeah. Not as well as the other races.
We need this race to do a little bit better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think they're most likely going to pick up another victory here, because even if Maru beats Trap, whoever he goes up against, like, all 3 of these Protoss play completely differently in PvT, so it's a very tough day for Maru. And I think Trap is probably the hardest opponent to start with. So if he beats him, I'm sure people are going to be like, oh, well, he's just going to take it. SOS is going to one-base him like 6 times out of 7 at least, and the other one's going to be Nexus first, okay? So it's a hard one for him either way.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm going to be happy with whoever wins this. Again, so exciting to see Zoun doing so well. Rogue was eliminated today.
Yeah, that's right.
That's wild.
Yeah.
And that's all the time we have. Guys, we love you. We'll see you on Thursday. Stay safe. Bye-bye.